Hi guys, you take here, Blueberry Hill. So here we are. I'm working on a beam that goes into the spare bedroom, the apartment we're calling it. Basically, it's 2 square-inch tubing that I welded together to make a center beam, so I could actually hang the 2x4s ceiling joists between in the center and the walls. Here you see Jake came over to help me out. We did awesome this day. It was great help. Here we are putting the beam up. It's pretty straightforward. Use the car jack to get the ceiling up a little bit. It was sagging a little bit. Mind you, we have a roof over this, which doesn't even touch the ceiling. It goes to the outside of the containers, based on the trusses. You might have seen that video. Anyway, Jake and I put that up there, and then I let Jake run with doing the ceiling joists. He's really good at helping out, so I just let him run with it. There's the supervisor right there, his mom. Anyway. It went really good that day. It was pretty warm, not too bad, but he went on that, and I was working on some other stuff, so I let him run with it, and I continued doing ceiling stuff on the other side of the apartment. You'll see me pop up a little later. So Angie's helping Jake. They're doing they're putting in the blocking on the outside wall. As you see, he nails in a flat 2x4. This isn't structure, so we don't really care. Making standing up blocking. We're just doing nail up for sheetrock. So anyway, they did this pretty quickly, and then they did the bathroom right there. So there's while they're finishing up that area, that's the outside of the apartment. Now they're going to switch over and do the other side, and we're going to have to leave the ceiling joist open, because right where he leaned that 2x4 up on the wall is going to be a 6-foot slider right there. We built the wall anyway because it trues up better. I guess I could have left some of the 2x4s out of it, but whatever. We're gonna cut that out, use it somewhere else, no big deal. And we have it marked on the wall where the door actually goes. So he stopped right around there. You'll see him move over about 7 feet from there in a little bit, and not put the ceiling joists in. The reason being is the door is actually exactly 8 feet tall, and we're gonna have to do some finagling with the joists to get that around the window, or framing around the door actually, to make it work. And I'll be working on that next week, or this weekend coming up. Should be interesting. So as he's finishing up, I'm doing some supports in the bedroom of the apartment. Just putting in some plates, center plates, and they're going to do the bathroom. They kind of goofed up a little bit on the hangers. They put them up slightly elevated, so I actually had them redo that. No big deal. It's harder to redo it than it is to just do it right once. But all it was the hanger was sitting a little bit high because it wasn't squished down. And we're using hangers that prop over the header and come down and hold the 2x4. So here see me working on the header, center joint, I guess, header in the middle of the containers, and then spans ceiling joists each way. And that should be plenty strong. We're only hanging sheetrock, and we're going to have of course spray foam on the inside of that to hold everything together as well. So it'll be a little bit of glue on there, whatever. The close-off foam is going to be a little structural. It gets nice and hard and locks everything in as well. So I think the containers will get nice and quiet, as well as super insulation. We're looking probably to do anywhere from 2 to 3 inches of foam, so we'll see how that goes, and I'll let you guys know. Anyway, we're moving right along. We actually got this banged out pretty quick. So here we're going to finish up the apartment ceiling. We just did the header, right? So I'm using a support guide so I can hang the ceiling joists on up on the ceiling. You see the clamp and the little piece of wood there. So we don't have to align stuff. We just make sure it's over 16 on center. We're using blocking, 14.5-inch blocking, to make sure that they're spaced properly. Jake's nailing the blocking on the outside wall, and I'm just doing it as a space thing. So, and then using 3-inch long screws to secure the 2x4. So Jake and I finish up the apartment ceiling, then we move over to the hallway entry area to the apartment. and we basically were in a little bit of time crunch because we have to go to Pops for dinner. So we did that whole area in about 20 minutes. With two of us doing on the ceiling joist, it goes really, really quick. We bang it in and knock it out. Here's June 7th, so I started on the support pieces in the middle containers. This is where Angie's office, my office is, and this is the spare bedroom I'm working in. A little less to worry about here because we have internal walls that are going to basically hold a lot of stuff up. But anyway, I still did the supports and did exactly the same thing I'm doing in all the other containers. We make plates every other 16-ounce center divider, and then just bang a header in there, and then 16-ounce center 2x4 ceiling joist. So once I finished the headers, I started working on the my office first. Since I was already there, ladders were there, etc. So I worked that way. Then we did the bathroom, and I think Angie comes home in a little bit, and we both tackled. Got to the other side of my office. Yay, Angie's there, so she's helping me out. She's cutting all the joists to the right size, of course, and then the bunch blockings we need. Pretty much everything's the same size here. We just basically float the joist over the wall and then connect it on the header. So it goes pretty quick. So now we're doing the actual apartment in the middle containers. We finished the offices on that side of the container, and we're going to just loop around and walk up this apartment and down the hallway. So we're doing a pretty good time on this. This part of the ceiling went pretty quick. Once we started doing the hallway, it slowed down just a little bit. We had to do some fancy blocking over the door, etc. So it requires a few more 2x4s. No big deal. There's Angie bringing them over there, and I'm basically just nailing them all in. So we're moving up and down the line. I'm just putting all the blocking up on top of the top plate, and I'm just going up there and just nailing stuff down. So we moved right on through. Slightly different lengths of joists, but no big deal. Same process. And then we're just joining it up, doing the rest of the bathroom, and then we start finish up that day. We did all the blocking in the hallway. You can see the weird angles for the joists going on the wall. We put blocking up on that so you can have something to nail to when we get the chip up. So here's June 8th. So Pop came over to help me out on the rest of the walls up on the game room. But this went pretty quick. We didn't have that much to do. We actually stood around for an hour or two for me trying to figure out how to do the wall that connects the game room and the living room. So we came up with a plan, and I had to go buy some more brackets the next day, so we didn't do anything there. But we did finish the end wall here and the two little walls that go into the living room side. So I am doing busting out some concrete with my big old hammer drill thing. Works really good. All we're trying to do is smoothen it down, Pop cleaned it up, and then we put the soap plate down and knock that out. We're building the wall just like all the others. The window slow us down a little bit, and she's doing all the cutting on the big saw, the bevel sliding miter saw, and then we have a small saw upstairs, but I didn't use it all that much. Here we're just banging it up. We actually test fit it first. We didn't show you that, but we'll make sure it fits, snap it in, And here I'm making the column that hides the connection for the containers. The left container is slid over about 4 or 5 inches, actually around 6 inches, because it crosses between two containers and hangs over it, giving us a patio overhang. So pretty cool. We'll show you that, of course, when we get there. Should be nice to sit out there when it's raining and stuff. So did a little discussion here on what we want to cover. The wall on the left, right where the stairway is, but that's going to stay open. Of course, painted, cleaned up, made nice, but it'll still be container looking. The surround for the stairway will be cleaned up, of course, with some kind of surround, some kind of nice wood or some accent there. Anyway, we're putting these walls up to hide the posts. I like the clean look, but I do like the kind of like the modernized industrial look as well, but just not all of it. So I'm making the wall on top of the stairs, put that in, and I'll be working tomorrow. I'll be doing the headers for the ceiling that go on that side of the wall. You'll see that in a second. So Pop left a little while after we did the walls, and then I started doing the last little tidbits of welding on the center section for the header for the ceiling joists. Didn't take too long. It was just hot, so I was moving slow. Took a few breaks, but got it done. And then I put the headers up, and we called it good. And then the next day I come back and do start doing the game room ceiling. You'll see that as well. So after I finished the weld up, then I started doing. Figured I had, it was still sunny out. You can see the fan rolling on the right there. It was hot, so we had a little bit of air circulating. Now I'm putting the headers in. Typical way, I make sure everything's level, and then move it over to the actual beam. The beams are a little bit higher than the ceiling on purpose, so we can actually get the ceiling underneath the C channel there. So anyway, pretty easy stuff. Just a little bit uncomfortable because it was so sweaty. So June 9th, here I am. So I'm started doing the header in the game room. I tackled the hard stuff first. So I figured this is the way to start. Basically drilling holes in the container. The header's going to get screwed in directly to the container with hangers on it, and I'm using the old fancy ladder and zip sheeting as a ladder support, so I don't die in the stairway hole. This part actually went pretty good. It was really hot today. Humidity was super high and somewhere in the 90s. I didn't even care to look because it didn't really matter. I had to get the job done. So anyway, here I'm doing the header with the hangers. I actually pre-built that, and then I shove it up there. This is a second go around. I have to trim a little bit. There's a little mouth that kind of hangs on the C channel, so that support piece I made wasn't quite required. But anyway, here I am on the living room side. I'm on the scaffold on the ladder, and I'm screwing the screws through to the 2x4 header. Pretty straightforward. It went pretty quick. I was really surprised how easy that went. So I moved I had the camera running when I moved the scaffold over, so move it to the next spot. It kind of looks weird because it's time lapse, but anyway, it is what it is. Then I run up there, screw all the screws in. Then I run back on the other side and I start doing the ceiling joists. So here's a shot on the scaffold. I decided to do a ground shot just for get a perspective. That's about 18.5 feet up there, so not too bad. But you know, it's fun. Ladders on scaffold. What does anybody say about that? And on this side, I start banging in the header to the wall, and then start doing this. So just like all the other ceilings, I just throw the 2x4 up there. I did one little trim job. I like measuring tight and then just backing off on it, 16th at a time or something, just so everything fits really well. And I'll work my way through the whole ceiling on that side, and I call it good for the day. So I did take a few breaks today. You can see how sweaty I am. I did have to sit down and drink some water and play with the dogs for a little bit. But I got all that area done, which is the part that I was dreading the most, because that's over the stairway. I still didn't screw in the side where the hangers are, but that's no big deal. That ain't falling down anytime soon. And here I am just finishing up, and we'll be good to go. So So June 10th, we're trying to finishing up the ceiling. We're running out of 2x at this point, but we went and bought another pallet at the Home Depot, and prices went up from last week. Here I'm doing a little bevel on a header that goes inside a C-channel, and the C-channel has a little bit of an angle to it. I believe it's like 3 or 4 degrees, so that's what I cut on the table saw. You can see it on the top left. It's inside the C-channel with the mounts already in there. So you can see the header with the brackets on there, and it's pretty easy work at this point. You basically just slip it into the bracket and then screw the other side, the center header. We banged this up pretty quick, and then Angie and I went on to Home Depot for spent a small fortune on 2x. But you know, we needed them, and we got done pretty quickly after that. In a few minutes, you'll see us hammer, nail, or shoot nails into the bottom plate all around the house. We just show you the top, the game room. But anyway, we just walked around and shot about 150 nails into the bottom plates of all the walls. Here, Angie's doing the last nail up for the joists on that wall. All the ones that have the brackets, she's finishing up the nailing with the palm nailing. And in a second, you'll see her working in the precarious support system that we have, ladder and zip sheeting, and a ladder over a big hole. So anyway. Oh, it smells like gunpowder in the morning. Actually, it was late afternoon, but here we are. I'm doing the ram set, and then Angie walked around with me carrying the shots and the nails. Made pretty quick work of it, and we're probably 150 in, and we were done. Ta-da! Bang, bang, bang. Luckily, you don't have sound, but it's not too loud. It's just a 22 shell. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. We'll come back at you in a little bit. We're going to start the sliding glass doors. So that's coming up in our next video. Anyway, see you later. Thanks. Bye.